We have some breaking news to start the show. The team right here in Indianapolis, Indiana, who is currently sitting at 3-5-1 after an embarrassing and abysmal loss to the New England Patriots just one day ago. The owner of that team, Jim Irsay, has announced that he has fired head coach and offensive coordinator Frank Reich as the Colts coach and coordinator. This is a big-time deal because for the last couple of weeks, this Indianapolis Colts team has appeared to be out of sorts. For the last couple of weeks, this team has seemed to be uninspired.
That's right.
For the last couple of weeks, this team has seemed to be off the rails, mostly because this team has appeared to stink. I have no idea if it has been 100% Frank Reich's fault. I have no idea if there's any change that could go into the head coaching position with this particular roster sitting in this position that they are sitting in right now that can turn things all the way around. What I do know is that an offensive line that used to be good and is the highest paid offensive line in football stinks now. Absolutely stinks. The Matt Ryan situation did not work out. Sam Ehlinger gets exposed by Bill Belichick yesterday. The offense has been both boring, unexplosive, and inept through the entirety of this entire season, and that did not change with a quarterback change or an offensive coordinator firing 1 week ago. Jim Irsay made a play to fire the head coach, probably to open things up for all head coaches that are potentially available, saying, hey, we have an incredible defense here that makes plays. We have a lot of talent on this particular roster. We don't have a quarterback yet, so that means you can pick one. Come on and join the Indianapolis Colts, and let's get this team back to what we were once known as, which is a good program, a good franchise. What does this mean for the rest of the year? Well, when you bench Matt Ryan, when you trade Nyheim Hines away, when you fire an offense coordinator, and then you fire the head coach, that probably means this year's going to fucking stink. And that's not normal for us Indianapolis Colts fans. There is very rarely a time going into Week 10 where we think that our team is completely out of it, but that's what we're staring down. The obvious is the obvious, but it means that in the future, it'll hopefully look a little bit different. What does this mean for GM Chris Ballard? We shall see. What does this mean for the team going forward? We shall see. Jim Irsay pulled the trigger this morning, and I think it is going to be well received by the Indianapolis Colts fans. There were a lot of stats being given out just yesterday about this Frank Reich-led offense, and it is all bad.
Yeah.
They had negative 2 yards in the first quarter.
Okay.
Negative 2 yards in the first quarter yesterday. Sam Ehlinger had some record that he broke for being inept. The offense is
9 sacks.
They just stink. The offense completely stinks. They were 0-11 on third down going into like the third quarter or something like that. It only got worse from there. It's bad. It's abysmal. And hopefully the future is bright. That's not a...
This is an interesting one. According to colleague Tom Pelissero, Jeff Saturday is the Colts interim coach. Jeff Saturday.
What? No.
All right, Jeff. Let's go, baby.
Jeff Saturday.
What? No, you're lying.
Jim Irsay is the best human on earth. Tom Pelissero, the Colts are naming Jeff Saturday as their interim coach.
You could have been the interim coach.
No way. I'm not Jeff Saturday. If you do remember...
Wait, Pat, have you missed... Hey, I'm not joking. Have you missed any calls since we've been on air from Irsay or anyone?
No, I have not. I've not been asked to join the coaching staff. If Jeff would like to extend the invite, he knows the check is going to have to be very big. He would not have access to that probably in the middle of a season. With the follow-up, though, Jeff Saturday was the head of the NFL players, whatever. Whenever we were playing, he was the man that was a captain, not only in the locker room, but for the entire league. He's the reason why the original CBA got done like 13 years ago, when allegedly he walked up to the table and said, let's put our swords down. Let's get a deal done here for the good of the NFL, for the good of our fans. Jeff Saturday has been on television. He's incredible. Obviously, he's incredibly handsome. He's charming. He's lost 150 pounds.
Is he?
Yeah.
Looks like an incredibly different person. He's got blue eyes that are gorgeous. He is beloved in Indianapolis. I like that Jim Irsay probably reached out to Peyton. Hey, you want to coach, brother? I can't do that, obviously. He reached out to maybe Tarek Glenn, who was just in town for the Ring of Honor. Tarek's like, I'm not going to come
Sure,
coach.
makes sense.
He's like, hey, Freeney, you want to coach? Freeney's like, I still got like 15, 20 golf rounds I got to do. Robert Mathis, I don't know if it's time for me to. Hey, Jeff, you want to coach? I've been sending out an email to everybody that is in our Ring of Honor, just wondering if anybody wants to come join us in here. And Jeff Saturday's like, fuck it. High school season just ended. I got nothing else to do. I'll come in there. I want to let you know I'm pumped about this. Jeff probably going to be an incredible leader of men, but the team's got no shot. They don't even know who the fuck he is. Hopefully he's able to help with the offensive line. I don't think he's been around the building. I have no idea. He's still Jeff Saturday, though. I think he's a great leader.
Has he? I don't know. Has he coached before?
Coached high school football. Yeah,
okay.
down Georgia.
Yep.
Hey,
Oh, okay,
I've been
cool.
down Georgia. High
That's
school
big
football
time-
down
that's
there.
big time
Means
high
more
school
down
football.
there.
It's different down there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pumped for Jeff. Let's go, Jeff.
Baby,
Let's
Jeff.
go, Jeff.
Go, Jeff. I didn't know what they were going to do. Obviously, Gus Bradley's been a head coach multiple times in the past. He's on the staff. First year as defense coordinator. First year, though. Maybe he's going to be a head coach. Bubba Ventrone, special teams coordinator, has had a lot of success. People have looked at him to be a head coach, thought maybe he was going to be a head coach. Jim Irsay said, we're thinking outside the box, thinking outside the building, thinking outside the team. Let's bring something back from the past. It's a staple of greatness. Let's bring back Jeff Saturday. I appreciate that. Hey, good luck out there, Jeff.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Jeff.
Maybe Jeff
guess
suit
it
up
could
too.
work.
Maybe Jeff suit up too. I don't know if he's going to be able to play offensive line. I don't think he'll have as many MAs. That is an interesting one, though. Certainly fascinating.
What? You think Ellinger's gonna be like, "Hey, coach, shut up and coach"?
Just coach, Jeff.
No, I don't think Sam Ellinger could do that.
Did Irsay just turn on, get up, and say, "Holy fuck"?
I like that pancakes.
He's sounding real good right now. That pancake
I mean,
segment.
that
I
has definitely worked in the past where you watch a guy on TV and you're like, man, you sound good. Come coach my team.
Well, now we
or
got
be
our
the
answer on
GM
who's the
of
OC is gonna be.
Raiders.
No, I know that. I mean, Daniel Schlavsky was being asked to be people's offense coordinator
Yeah.
because of how he'd lay out how he would operate with a quarterback if he was the offense coordinator. And then that team actually reached out and was like, hey, that sounds like a fucking good plan. Do you want to come do that? But congrats to Jeff. I love Jeff. I think he's a great
Yeah.
leader. Hopefully
Great,
he'll do a good
sure.
job. Tom Pelissero, the Colts plan to introduce Jeff Saturday, a member of the Super Bowl championship team and most recently an ESPN analyst, as their interim coach at 6 p.m. Eastern press conference tonight. All right, Jeff.
Here we go, Jeff.
All right,
Sure.
Ian,
I mean-
it's been an explosive overreaction Monday here on November 7th. What were you about to say? You're about to shit on Jeff Saturday? Don't do it.
No,
you dare.
I
Don't
have
you
no
do it.
earthly,
Do it, Rap
no,
Sheet.
Jeff Saturday's awesome. I have no earthly idea what's going to happen here.
But what
None.
kind?
We know.
They're going to have more than negative 2 yards in the first quarter. Fucking bank on it.
Well, depends. What
that-
offense
can
is
you-
Carly Irsay running?
Is that one of the,
Wing
one of the
tee?
bets or whatever?
Well, we had negative 2 yards in the first quarter against Patriots yesterday. They put a stat up. 0 for 11, the first 11 third downs. 0 for 11. Offense coordinator is the head coach. That's tough. Fired the offense coordinator a couple days before. Didn't even know he existed. Nope.
Yeah.
That's tough. You bring in Jeff Saturday to be a head coach? I'm fucking here for it.
Hell yeah.
I am here for it. Maybe there'll be a little accountability in there.
What?
You know, because the offensive line has looked terrible. Highest paid offensive line in the NFL. Terrible at what they do.
Terrible.
Bad
Yep.
at what they do.
Really bad.
So maybe there's new energy, maybe there's fresh energy. Congrats to Jeff Saturday. I don't know if this is something he wanted to do before yesterday, but now that he's got it, I hope he crushes it. Just like you do every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. The fuck?
You gotta
mean,
be shitting.
You talk about out of left field.
Yeah.
That is the definition.
That's what a name that we would have come up as a parody.
Yeah.
Fucking a
parody.
A parody talking about.
I
How does?
But we
saw
love-
Jeff
we-
last weekend.
We love Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were just with him.
Saw Jeff last weekend. I mean, Jim saw Jeff last weekend as well.
Hey, if this
They were
is-
talking. Jeff, coaching high school football, probably had success. in high-
He's doing great.
probably running an offense down there, doing the whole thing. And Jim's like, you know, we fucking need somebody from this group back in this building. Yeah, Jim got a chance to take a trip back in time whenever the Ring of Honor, Tarek Glenn celebration happened. He was literally baptized with what the Colts used to be before the walls got painted on day one of the next era, before this particular era that has just been a constant cycle of what the fuck's going on? Losing in Clowntown to not make the playoffs last year, starting off terribly this particular season. Jim Irsay was immersed in the Paytons and the Jeffs and the Dwights and the Roberts and the Tarek Glenn and Reggie Wayne and Edgerrin James and fucking Marvin Harrison was there. And Jim's sitting around going, man, this is what Bill Polian was there.
Yeah.
This is what my life used, not too long ago. This is what my life was. This is who used to be our team. This is who I used to depend upon for my happiness and for the success of the business that I've been running for 25 years. So this morning, when he fired Frank Reich, first time he's fired a head coach in 25 years mid-season as an owner. First time in 25 years, Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay is a very, he's watched the NFL for a long time. He's been in the NFL for a long time. And he knows that if you're a team that is constantly turning over and firing people, it's not good for outcome. It's not good for optics. It's not good for anything. So for the first time in his 25-year of ownership career, he fires a head coach in the middle of the season. Shout out to Zach Kiefer for that potential that particular nugget right there. So 1 week removed from the Ring of Honor, he's like, I fucking need one of these guys back. Jeff, you've been coaching high school. Get your ass back in here. Can't be that hard. Need to get more than negative 2 yards in the first quarter. You think he can do that? That's where the Colts are right now. I think Jeff can bring him back a little bit. But once again, it's a throwaway for the year. Maybe Jeff earns a full-time job, though.
Maybe.
Maybe Jeff is supposed to be an NFL head coach, and none of us knew it until this morning. Maybe Jeff didn't know he was going to be an NFL head coach until all of us found out this morning. Jeff Saturday, I have faith in him. I like him as a human. I think he's a good leader. I think he knows football. I think he's passionate. I think he holds people accountable. I don't think that means the Colts are going to have a great season this year, but I am appreciative that Jim Irsay said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Pretty much.
Give me Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
And so, I hope he remains the head coach, but it'll be kind of a bummer for ESPN, right? Because then Rex Ryan's the DC, Mina Kimes is probably running the offense, and Swagoo's coaching the D-line, and Ryan Clark's in the secondary. What are they going to do?
If they get -1 yard in the first quarter,
You're good.
Improvement.
Colts fans are going to want Jeff Saturday to be the head coach for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
If they play an exciting brand of football, Colts fans are going to want Jeff Saturday to be the head. Jeff Saturday is beloved here. Still on, what are those things?
Billboards?
Still on
Yeah,
billboards.
uh-huh.
The effectiveness of billboard marketing we can dive into.
Sure.
They charge per eye, and they charged me one time for an odd number of eyes. So I was intrigued on how they got to that particular number. How did they know with the passer buyers? Nonetheless,
A
who
lot
had
of
one
eye
eye?
patches. There's a lot of one eyes out
Yeah.
there.
Glance.
So is the billboard catching that? I didn't know they had cameras on there taking pictures of all the eyes looking at you. But whenever they say, you'll have 70,231 eyes looking at you in this particular hour, that seems to be an interesting way.
Sure.
I don't know how they got that number. But nonetheless, he's on a bunch of billboards around here. Air conditioning units, I think for other things going on. Jeff Saturday's name is synonymous with this city. And maybe that's just what Jim Irsay's looking for. Bring me somebody that knows what this team's supposed to look like, can look like, and somebody that these fans actually enjoy and love.
When was the last time an interim coach was an outside hire, you think?
Bro,
That has never coached in the NFL.
well,
Well, they didn't
let's
have.
not start asking these reasonable questions.
Never coached in college.
Because I'm just wondering if we can do the classic hey, bet on the Colts this week. They're going to play hard for the interim coach, but it's none of, like you mentioned, none of these fucking guys know him.
No.
He had an office in the building.
He did.
Whenever he retired as a Colt. They gave him an office in the building, gave him a title in the building. I don't know what the title was.
Consultant, I think.
And I don't think it was senior something. I think he got a senior level something. I'm not sure the door was ever opened for the office by Jeff Saturday because he was going to coach somewhere else. But he has remained close with the organization. I believe him and the Irsays do still chat on a regular basis, I think. So I don't know.
How do you think